What do you want? Last 10 hours? Last 10 hours.
Good afternoon, sir.
Delivery from what it was around 2 o'clock. They were not running so hard at 2 o'clock.
MBB
When someone like a storm is at the back stroke, then at this stage of the innings, we test to see if Green and Labuschagne can do it. Green's done it at the top of the order. Putting that in the middle. Well, we want to see that aspect of Campbell Green.
Out.
It's not got the distance and the catch is taken. They wanted to see him come down the wicket, clear the boundary. He thought of doing that, but Shreyas Iyer was lurking there. Fell about a yard short.
Lurking there. L-U-R-K-I-N.
Totally.
It was lurking.
This is excellent bowling. Very good bowling. This is a long boundary.
ताक में रहना, you understand? मौका
You really
मिले
have to connect it well to hit it over the field or into the stands. It's the wrong one again.
Yes, Iyer was
Possibly
lurking there,
more towards the bottom end of the bat rather than the middle.
waiting in the
So
lurk,
it didn't quite get the power
waiting
in
in
it.
the lurk.
He
Yes,
doesn't miss
Iyer
those.
was
He's
waiting
a
for the
very
lurk.
good fielder, Shreyas Iyer. So Kuldeep getting another wicket. And it's Green. It's 299 for 6.
Two big hitters got out very quickly.
Beautify your home with Sterlite. With CRI Plus
Beautify your
Tech's
home.
better quality light. Sterlite.
Beautify your
Fall in
home.
love with your home.
If you want to learn English, don't give excuses. There are plenty of options. Instead, beautify your home.
Rock Nivas, flavored pan masala.
Beautify your home. This is the last exercise. Take it out, Cummins and Labuschagne. Then they might not be able to catch 350.
Right, Pat Cummins is the new batter. Cameron Green with a short stay, 9 of 13. Australia being pegged back here. At 1 point, 215 for 1, 242 for 2. Now 299 for 6. And a slip in place in the 43rd over.
Tip in place. The 43rd over.
Pat Cummins.
Oh.
And he'll get on the mark. It might actually go all the way with fielders so far, so square and so far away. So little nudge for 4. Brings up 300 for Australia.
Those are the kind of mistakes which Kuldeep Yadav has made today. It's not about the variations, it's where you bowl them, the lines.
Nudge. A little
And
nudge.
that's where he's been immaculate.
Nudge.
He was
Little
brilliant in
nudge.
Asia Cup. Just today, maybe a little bit of rustiness and not having played. It's not an excuse, but he hasn't hit his lines.
.49 innings, average of 10.8 is far better than that. He played the big shot too, like Cameron Green was trying to. Looked like 6 when Cameron Green hit it. Might have ended up hitting it into the wind. .43 gone, 3 for 6, and the flags.
So you learned a word, nudge. Nudge means to move. You elbow somebody like this, you nudge them when you want to say something. Wives nudging their husbands to do something at parties, or sometimes, you know, the husband knows what the wife means when she does it. You can use the word elbow as well, but nudge. Soft touch, nudge. Okay. How do you spell it? N-U-D-G-E, nudge. Okay. So yesterday I gave you guys some homework in the practice book. It was about the present perfect. I taught you a very basic idea that when you talk about experiences, you use the present perfect. But if you want to give the details of those experiences, then you use the past simple. So there is this text we are going to look at. As we all know, that in the present perfect, we use the third form of the verb. And the third form is also called past participle. Take a look here. Look at this, table, okay, the charts. Infinitive, past simple, past participle. Be is the infinitive base form. The past simple of be verb is was and were. And the past participle is been. What's the past simple of the verb travel? Traveled, double L-E-D. And what's the past participle of travel? Traveled, the same. So sometimes the V2 and the V3, the past simple and the past participle are the same form. What's the past simple of have? Had. And the past participle is also had, the same. What's the past simple of live? And the past participle? Lived. And what's the past simple of see? And past participle? Seen. What's the past simple of make? Made. And past participle? Made. What's the past simple of meet? Don't say that way. Met. It's short A. Met. Just because I said meet, you're not supposed to say mate like that, okay? It's not mate, it's met. Mate is M-A-T-E. A friend, a housemate, a classmate, batchmate. Meet, met, M-E-T. And the past participle is the same, met. What's the past simple of take? Took. And the past participle? Taken. By. It is not बाऊ or मैया, okay? It is bought. जो बाऊ बोलते हैं ना, उसमें बाऊ ले आते हैं ना, बाऊ मैया नहीं आते उसमें, okay? Bought. Bought and past participle is the same. Bought. What's the past simple of do? Did. And what's the past participle? Done. In English, there are only 5 forms for a verb. Only 5 forms. All tenses are formed with these 5 forms. So far, we have learned to use the V1 form in the present simple. We have learned to use the V2 form, the past simple. I went there yesterday, V2. When I was a child, I didn't like milk. Like is V1, but it is a negative sentence. I didn't like milk. So we know where to use V2. V4 in the continuous tense, I am going to school. We are watching the match and studying English at the same time. And you are watching the match, I know you are crazy, but I can allow you because you are able to handle both the things somehow because you are sitting here. And V5 is only used with he, she, it. In the present simple, he goes, she laughs. So all tenses, just 5 forms. Right now, our focus is on the present perfect, which uses the third form, the past participle form. We are going to read about Edgar Myrovic here. and we have to decide which tense will be more appropriate for this the sentences here. So Edgar Myrovic is a tennis player. He is only 16 years old, but which should we select? Already won or has already won many tournaments in his life? If we select already won, it means we are using the past simple. If we say has already won, we are using the present perfect. And so far, I have taught you only two things. If you are talking about the experience of somebody, you use the present perfect. But if you are going into the details of that experience, then you use the past simple. So what does this show? Number one, experience or the details of the experience. What is it? He won many tournaments in his life. वो अपने जीवन में जो दिया हुआ वहां देखिए, अपने जीवन में बहुत सारे टूर्नामेंट। क्या ये अनुभव है? नहीं है। अगर आप नहीं डिसाइड कर सकते तो यही आपका अभी सीखने का प्रोसेस चल रहा है। इफ यू आर नॉट वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट कि मैं कैसे डिसाइड करूं ये एक्सपीरियंस है कि नहीं पता चल रहा है, मेरा दिमाग क्लू नहीं दे रहा कुछ भी, इट मीन्स यू आर इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ लर्निंग, यू हैवंट लर्नड इट येट। हाँ, मैं बोल चुका हूं कि प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट यूज करेंगे एक्सपीरियंस के मामले में, लेकिन आपका डिसाइड करेगा दिमाग कि एक्सपीरियंस है कि नहीं है जो बताना चाह रहे हैं। तो वो अपने जीवन में कुछ भी करे हैं वो एक्सपीरियंस होगा ना। जैसे बोलेंगे मैं अपने जीवन में ये कर चुका हूं, वो कर चुका हूं, मैंने ये किया वो किया, ये सब क्या है? तो दैट्स व्हाई ही हैज ऑलरेडी वन मैनी टूर्नामेंट्स इन हिज लाइफ। अब हिंदी भी बोल लेता ताकि वो जो लाइन मैंने बोला है एक्सपीरियंस उसके साथ हिंदी का भी मैच बन जाए। वो है तो 16 साल का, लेकिन बहुत सारे टूर्नामेंट अब ये जीत गया है लाइफ में, राइट? है तो 16 साल का, लेकिन अभी अपने जीवन में बहुत सारे टूर्नामेंट जीत चुका है अभी। टू, ही, अब बताओ, प्लेइंग टेनिस विद हिज फादर व्हेन ही वाज 3 इयर्स ओल्ड। हाँ, कौन सा टेंस तुम्हें सही लगेगा यूज करना? अगर तुमने होमवर्क नहीं किया है तो I'll give you guys 5 minutes, do this now because I can't check otherwise। मैं चेक नहीं कर सकता, एक्सरसाइज को वेस्ट नहीं कर सकता। ये डिसीजन लेना तुम्हारा काम है, सही डिसीजन तुम लो, फिर we will talk about it, okay? तो अगर नहीं किया है आप लोगों ने होमवर्क तो मुझे बुरा लगना चाहिए ऑब्वियसली, क्योंकि होमवर्क था और ये आखिरी यूनिट है ना। I've told you this is going to be important, लेकिन आखिरी यूनिट इंपॉर्टेंट है जब आप कुछ करोगे। पहले दिन मैंने कहा ऑडियो फाइल लिख के लाओ 12.1, कुछ लोग लिखे कुछ लोग नहीं। अब ये होमवर्क दिया, कुछ लोग नहीं किए हैं। मेरा अटक जाता है सुई, जो नहीं किए उन पे मुझे पता है कुछ लोग किए भी हैं, वो कहेंगे हम तो किए हुए हैं। नहीं, आप किए हो, आप सही किए, लेकिन उनका क्या जो नहीं किए, उनको कैसे देखूं, उनको कैसे मानूं कि वो सिंसियर है सीखने के लिए? जब कोई टीचर इतना बोल रहा है कि ये यूनिट बहुत मायने रखेगा आपके लिए, आपकी जिंदगी में ये कंफ्यूजन अदरवाइज कभी सॉल्व नहीं होने वाला, अगर अभी नहीं सॉल्व हुआ तो फिर भी आप लापरवाही करोगे, जिसका मतलब आप बिल्कुल सीरियस नहीं हो। तो प्लीज 5 मिनट लो, आराम से सोचो, डिसाइड करो जो कल पढ़ाया उसके बेसिस पे कि अनुभव है तो प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट, अनुभव के डिटेल्स हैं, उसके बारे में कुछ बातें हैं कि कब, कैसे, कहाँ, क्यों, तो उसके लिए पास्ट सिंपल। इस बेसिस पे डिसाइड करो। देयर आर 8 decisions you have to make, out of which we have already made 1 or 2. Now you go ahead and decide, everybody. I will check this in a couple of minutes or 5 minutes, okay? So please do it. Decision making ability, निर्णय लेने की क्षमता, हर एक पढ़ाई में एक हायर लेवल पे जाके यही काम करना होता है। क्योंकि आप इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज के तौर पे कभी नहीं सीखे, इसलिए आपको कभी डिसीजन लेने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी। आपने एग्जाम पास करने के लिए सीखा, याद किया, आंसर्स लिख दिए। अभी आपको मैंने जो पढ़ाया है उसके आधार पर डिसीजन लेना है, क्या ये एक्सपीरियंसेस है? तो अगर आपका जवाब हाँ आएगा तो आप प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट ले लोगे, चुन लोगे। अगर आपको लगे क्या ये डिटेल्स हैं उस एक्सपीरियंसेस के, तो आप पास्ट सिंपल चुन लोगे। अगर आप कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे, डिसीजन नहीं ले पाओगे, तो इस वजह से, क्योंकि डिसीजन मेकिंग एबिलिटी डेवलप नहीं हुई है इंग्लिश में भी। करेंगे और कोशिश करेंगे, बट यू मस्ट गिव इट अ ट्राई। कोशिश तो आप करो पहले। इट इज 4:51. I don't think it will take you more than 5 minutes to read this text and decide. Go ahead, do it. And for next 4-5 minutes while you are doing it, instead of getting bored sitting here, I'll watch the match. Everybody has the book with them.
I don't think he wants to toss too many up to Pat Cummins because he can launch, but I think if you can mix it up against the tail ends, they just can't pick which way it's spinning.
Now with this ball a little older and softer, there's no harm in doing it. Let the batsman make the pace, not use the bowler's pace. That's a good hit, very good hit down the ground. And a nice way to end the over. 45 gone, 317 for 6, and Labuschagne gets a half century.
फ्लिपकार्ट बिग बिलियन डेज आ रहा है। रेडी? सेल्स तो आते जाते रहते हैं।
Labuschagne gets a century. Labuschagne gets a century. Labuschagne gets a century. ऐसे सुनने में प्रेजेंट सिंपल ही लगेगा, लेकिन इसको कभी भी प्रेजेंट सिंपल के तरफ पे सोचना नहीं चाहिए। अगर हम एस लगा के कुछ बोलते हैं प्रेजेंट सिंपल में, तो बार बार होने वाली बात होती है। लेकिन जब आप न्यूज़पेपर की बात करें, कमेंट्री की बात करें, तो वहां ग्रामर रूल्स, बेसिक ग्रामर रूल्स काम नहीं करते, एक्स्ट्रा ग्रामर रूल्स पढ़ने पड़ते हैं कमेंट्री के लिए और न्यूज़पेपर हेडलाइंस के लिए। तो यहाँ जब वो कहते हैं Labuschagne gets a century, इसका ये मतलब नहीं होगा Labuschagne सेंचुरी बनाता है, इसका ये मतलब नहीं करेंगे।
Lots of other runs and he's played well
और
enough.
Labuschagne का सेंचुरी हाफ सेंचुरी पूरा हो गया।
So I think
ये बोलेंगे and Labuschagne gets his half.
Imagine he'll come into the 15. Sure. Place of Travis Head, who they say is not going to be available for, the fourth game. So
5
it's a tricky
overs,
one for the
33
selectors in
runs.
that
That's
regard.
the target. Can
In
they
fact, when
touch?
Pat Cummins was asked earlier, yes, Suraj, he was asked earlier about Manas Labuschagne, and he said he's always ringing in my mind. Especially after what he did in South Africa, where he played well, grabbed his opportunity. He's a concussion specialist, really. Gets the chance and he grabs it.
Yeah, that's a good call. Concussion specialist. Right back to the Lord's Test match where his career got reignited when Steve Smith got knocked out by Jofra Archer. He actually got hit in the grill when he first came to the crease in that Test match, and he bounced up and stared Archer in the face, said, "Is that the best you got?" He's a character. Look how fit he is. Like he
You
was
guys
running
should have
hard
done your
from the
homework
get-go.
at home.
I thought he'd run out of petrol, but
You should
still
have.
pretty full, that petrol tank.
Yes, and when you see him in the field, he's all over the place. These are his recent scores, and he's really come into the reckoning with that 80 and 124.
Actually, I just wish he kept bowling his leg spin more than what he has. For some reason he's dropped off that, and actually quite a handy leg spinner in the right conditions. He's very busy, see, he's always, he mightn't play the big shots, but he's got all the touch shots, he hits the gaps, he runs hard. He's a good player of spin.
And very good shot to get to 50, because that was a nice tossed up delivery, and it's straight back. Good 50. Mohammad Siraj is back, and I think just a last ditch effort from the Indian team, as you saw Bumrah as well in this spell, put a little more in. Mohammad Siraj too. The sun has now dipped a little bit, so the fast bowlers just putting in a little more.
Yes, if they go at the current rate, they'll reach 350, but I think Australia would want more than that. Like to get somewhere between 360 and 370. They can. Oh, that's a cracking shot. Lovely sound when the ball made contact with the bat and it's disappeared to the fence.
Yeah, lovely shot. Short from Siraj. And he's pounced on that Marnus Labuschagne well in front of square leg. Just under control. Not trying to overhit the ball. Just a good cricket shot. Look at that. That's right out of the middle. Had a good, clean sound off the stick.
Actually, that was perfection. Just where the ball came as well for him.
You guys think you have made it? You're done. Should I check now?
And they'll get more runs now. Direct hit.
Umpires have to go upstairs for a thing like this.
Umpires have to
They'll
go
never
up.
take a chance.
They have no choice because there was a directive. They have to. You can't take a chance. Who knows? Maybe there was a. But now.
Person well inside the popping crease. I'm ready with my decision.
Well inside, not a little inside. The bat is well inside the crease. पूरी अच्छे से अंदर है. The bat is inside the crease. The bat is well inside the crease. यहाँ पर आपको सीखना हो गया, ये चीज जानने को मौका मिला. ये एग्जाम्पल को मैं यूज कर सकता हूँ ये रूल बनाने के लिए.
9 of the over.
एडवर्ब्स मैंने कहा था एक बार आपको कि हर चीज को ये क्वालिफाई करते हैं, नाउन को छोड़ के, प्रोनाउन को छोड़ के. उसके लिए एडजेक्टिव्स हैं. वर्ब को क्वालिफाई करते हैं, एडजेक्टिव को क्वालिफाई करते हैं, दूसरे एडवर्ब्स को क्वालिफाई करते हैं, प्रीपोजिशन को भी करते हैं. अभी इनसाइड द क्रीज, द बैट वाज इनसाइड द क्रीज. इनसाइड इज अ प्रीपोजिशन. उसके लिखा द बैट वाज वेल इनसाइड द क्रीज. तो वेल क्या है? एडवर्ब है जो इनसाइड को ये कर रहा है, क्वालिफाई कर रहा है कि बहुत अच्छे से अंदर, थोड़ा बहुत अंदर नहीं, आधा इंच एक इंच नहीं. द बैट वाज वेल इनसाइड द क्रीज. तो आप भले ही सोचते नहीं है इस तरह से, हर एक सेंटेंस को ऐसे समझा जाता है ग्रामेटिकली अंदर. इसको कहते हैं पार्सिंग करना. एक लैंग्वेज लर्नर के लिए ये सब जरूरी होता है. एडल्ट लैंग्वेज लर्नर के लिए, बच्चों के सब कोई टेंशन नहीं. वो सिर्फ हाई स्कूल ग्रामर सीखते हैं, ठीक है, कि हाँ क्या कैसे होता है इसका एग्जाम देने के लिए. उसके बाद उनको कोई टेंशन नहीं, क्योंकि उनको कभी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी लाइफ में. नहीं. सो शैल आई चेक नाउ? मैं चेक करूं आप आपका होमवर्क? ओके. 4 more overs to go. Let's miss one over. What can we do? Okay, just one ball. Okay, fine. Let's go and check the homework. So number 2, it is about a pastime. He started playing tennis with his father when he was 3 years old. हिंदी में भी सोच सकते हैं, जब वो 3 साल का था तो उसने खेलना शुरू किया. Past simple. He started playing. 2 years ago. Everybody can answer. 2 years ago.
He went.
He went. 2 years ago he went, because ये तो कितना पढ़े हम लोग यूनिट 6, 7 में, right? Ago, 2 years ago he went to America, to a famous tennis school in California. He went to America to a famous tennis school in California. Now the second paragraph. Edgar and his father
Have traveled to many countries.
उनके पास अनुभव क्या है? किस बात का एक्सपीरियंस है? बहुत से कंट्रीज ट्रैवल करने का. एडगर एंड हिज फादर, हिंदी में भी बोल लीजिए. एडगर और उनके पिता कई कंट्रीज ट्रैवल कर चुके हैं. लास्ट मंथ
They went.
ऑब्वियसली लास्ट मंथ. कब? लास्ट मंथ. टाइम मेंशन कर दिया, प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट कभी नहीं हो सकता. लास्ट मंथ they went to a tournament in Australia. Number 6, Edgar played well. कहाँ? वही विंबलडन, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में. कंटिन्यूटी उसी बात की है ना. पीछे देखना, लास्ट मंथ दे वेंट टू अ टूर्नामेंट इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, एडगर प्लेड वेल, कहाँ, वही वही उसी की बात हो रही है। तो जैसे ही डेफिनिट कर दो ना घटना ऐसे करके, टाइम वगैरह रेफर करके, अब उसके बाद जो डिस्क्रिप्ट आगे डिटेल्स जाएंगे वो सब किस में, पास्ट सिंपल में। व्हाट हैपेंड नेक्स्ट, एक कहानी सुनो, व्हाट हैपेंड नेक्स्ट करके पूछते चलो, व्हाट हैपेंड नेक्स्ट, व्हाट हैपेंड नेक्स्ट, फिर क्या हुआ, फिर क्या हुआ, व्हाट हैपेंड नेक्स्ट, जो जवाब आएगा कौन से टेंस में, और कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, क्या हुआ, फिर ये हुआ, फिर वो हुआ, फिर ऐसा हुआ, फिर वैसा हुआ। तो लास्ट मंथ कहाँ गए वो, टूर्नामेंट खेलने ऑस्ट्रेलिया, फिर क्या हुआ, एडगर प्लेड वेल, बट लेकिन
he didn't win.
didn't win, नहीं लेकिन, तुमने लिखा he hasn't won, तुमने लिखा he hasn't won, तो तुम मुझे बताओ कि ये उसके एक्सपीरियंस की बात हो रही है क्या उस घटना की बात हो रही है जो लास्ट मंथ हुई थी, किस बारे में बात हो रही है, लास्ट मंथ की बात हो रही है ना। लास्ट मंथ क्या हुआ था, वो ऑस्ट्रेलिया गया था, फिर ऑस्ट्रेलिया में फिर क्या हुआ, वहां वो बढ़िया खेला लेकिन जीता नहीं, कौन सा टेंस साउंड करता है, पास्ट सिंपल। कब कब नहीं जीता, कोई जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया में गया खेलने नहीं जीता। तो जब आप कोई घटना बता दे उसके बारे में डिटेल्स देने लगे, मैंने कहा एक के बाद एक, व्हाट हैपेंड नेक्स्ट, व्हाट हैपेंड नेक्स्ट, कौन सा टेंस, सिंपल पास्ट। तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया गया पिछले महीने, पास्ट टेंस, फिर क्या हुआ, ही प्लेड वेल लेकिन ही डिडंट विन। नंबर 8, विंबलडन में अभी तक नहीं खेला है, he hasn't played at Wimbledon yet, no experience of Wimbledon, अभी तक तो नहीं एक्सपीरियंस विंबलडन का, he hasn't played at Wimbledon yet, but he hopes to play there next year. So once we have understood these things, the exercise should be very easy, because let's see, has Edgar won many tournaments? क्या एडगर बहुत सारे टूर्नामेंट जीत चुका है लाइफ में, हैज एडगर वन मेनी टूर्नामेंट्स, यस ही हैज। व्हेन डिड ही स्टार्ट प्लेइंग टेनिस, व्हेन ही वाज 3 years old। क्वेश्चन नंबर 3, डिड ही गो टू अमेरिका 10 years ago? सॉरी, मेरे पूछने का तरीका गलत था, स्ट्रेस गलत था। डिड ही गो टू अमेरिका 10 years ago? Did he go to America 10 years ago? No, he didn't. He went 2 years ago. Number 4. Number 4, Padma, Jishan, Sana, please, Athar, Shadab, Sabah, all of you, please answer. Number 4, what should be the question? Yes, they have. The answer is yes, they have. सवाल क्या होना चाहिए? क्या ये लोग बहुत घूमे हैं क्या, अनुभव के बारे में पूछ रहे हो? तो ये लोग यहाँ पर दे नहीं बोल के हैज, हैव, एडगर एंड हिज फादर बोलना चाहिए तुम्हें, क्योंकि यहाँ कहीं जिक्र है उसके फादर का, तो दे कहां से आया अपने आप। हैव एडगर एंड हिज फादर ट्रैवल्ड अ लॉट? यस, दे हैव। नंबर 5, have they been to Australia? वो लोग ऑस्ट्रेलिया भी गए हैं? Yes, they have. Yes. Number 6, when did they go to Australia? जब सवाल आ गई टाइम और उसके एक्सपीरियंसेस, बाकी डिटेल्स के बारे में, कब, कहाँ, कैसे, क्यों। When did they go to Australia? Last month. जीता? Did Edgar win? कहाँ की बात हो रही है? ऑस्ट्रेलिया की, ये अंडरस्टूड होना चाहिए। Did Edgar win in Australia? The answer is no, he didn't. Number 8, has he ever played at Wimbledon? No, not yet. No, not yet. अभी तक तो नहीं, but maybe next year he will play. No, he hasn't is correct. No problems. मैं आगे बता रहा हूँ. No, not yet, है ना? Okay. अब भी वेल डन, इतना बढ़िया परफॉर्मेंस देने के बाद तो मैच देखना बनता है दोस्तों। ओके, वेल डन।
We don't get to see very often But that's where you're able to get an advantage, make things simpler.
Oh, that's beautifully struck. Very intentionally picked his spot, gave himself that little bit of room.
Labuschagne, he should have got out.
This has been a very impressive innings from Marnus Labuschagne. He's hit the ball right out of the middle of the bat, right from the get-go. Pitch has slowed up, the ball's got softer, but it hasn't stopped him.
And slightly you would think outside his comfort zone, because he's come in a little late as the ball has got softer, so he's had to create power.
Loose delivery
from the bowlers. So
shorter than half
last
pitch.
shot was a powerful hit.
This is a good delivery.
68 from 52. He's really done a good job here. He's been busy in those middle overs.
His strike rate is 133, near 133. I'm so good at maths.
I think his fitness has been the standout
Strike rate
feature. He's just
131.
kept running.
Hey.
Obviously, it's got a little bit
deliveries
cooler than
and runs
in the
and
middle of the
decide.
day, but it's still extremely humid.
When it
out
comes
there.
to simple
No water breaks
mathematics,
for him.
arithmetic,
No
I
chair to
work
sit
very
on.
fast. No problem, just a single.
He's tried the Yorker a couple of times, Mohammad Suraj, but not been able to nail it.
If you take this boundary out, this over has
Run it with his
quiet.
trajectory.
Runs.
And see, he's just not getting that speed in the air. The Yorker sort of dips as it comes close to the bat.
It's got 4 on the boundary on the onside, so I wonder where Cummins will eye that offside field. Mid-off is up. There's a long gone, deep mid-wicket, deep square leg, deep backward square leg.
Well done.
Good Yorker to end the over. 340 for 6.
अच्छा लग रहा है बट मजा नहीं आया
मजा तो तब आएगा जब लाइटिंग अच्छी होगी यानी स्टर लाइट घर सजाए स्टर लाइट विद CRI प्लस टेक के बेटर क्वालिटी लाइट स्टर लाइट
अभी बोला है घर सजाए तो कंपेयर करके भी सीख सकते हैं जहां चाह वहां रहा भूखे को ना खाना कहीं दिख जाए खा लेगा वो लोग बहाना करते हैं जो कहते हैं यहाँ नहीं मिल रहा वहाँ नहीं मिल रहा
I think most of those runs have come in the last month and a half.
Well, he's played 8 games, 5 in South Africa, 3 here in the last probably 3 weeks. He's certainly put a good case up to be pushed into the final squad, which has got to be announced by tomorrow.
Yes, you got to also weigh the fact that if they do
so they will
look in the
touch
direction of
350.
head, you've got to be certain as to by when he'll be fit.
If he manages
he
to
doesn't
get a
start
couple
the
of wickets
tournament.
this over, maybe.
Well, in theory, they could still just gamble on head and.
Do you think India will manage
Marnus
to
in the
chase
squad as well,
this?
say for a Cameron Green or
But
Josh Inglis,
say
I
you
guess, if
have
you wanted to
Virat
risk only
Kohli
having one
and,
keeper.
Rohit
they could
Sharma.
they could still
So
pick both
chances
Head
are
and
low.
Labuschagne in the 15-man squad.
Well done. No, it wasn't a wide.
Just wondering whether
Bad call.
Labuschagne actually discarded his thigh pad in between overs.
It was not a bad
Maybe just
wide ball at all.
There is a lot of
It
heat
was
out there. He
inside
wants
the
to run
blue
a lot.
line. Notice. Just take a
Seems
look.
like
Just
he-
take a look. Inside the blue line.
That's a tough call, that one. Marnus Labuschagne actually shimmied to get to the leg side, so he made it look wider than what it was and ended up inside the blue line, which is an indicator, but you can't really call it wide if it's inside the blue line, no matter where the batsman is.
Not given it this time because he was moving in that direction.
Yeah, that was the right call. The last one, because the bat was very close to the ball. It's a new thing that has come with regards to wides. Blue line is the guideline. On this occasion, Bumrah wasn't too happy. This is the last ball. And although the ball has gone very close or wide of the blue line, it's not called wide. The one before was the one that Bumrah wasn't too happy about.
It's sliced away. Get only one. It's a good over so far.
Yeah, this is
Didn't
the
take
new
the
thing
single,
that
did he?
Bumrah does these days. That
Oh, he took the
slow
single.
ball,
Took the single.
very slow, and right up, driving length.
It would have been
the
3
batter.
deliveries, but
And a
I'm
lot
just
of
because
fast
of
bowlers
that
have started
wide.
doing that, not short of length, to just
I don't
stop
want them
the
to
batter
touch it.
from
That would
scoring
be a
runs. You can see
big,
the
big,
last spell.
psychological
The
victory
last
for
three
India
spells
if
have
they
just
don't
got
get
better
to
and better. A
350.
couple of wickets in that third
But
spell.
it looks very unlikely. They
This
will
is
manage
where
it.
he's
Yeah.
at his best. Right
9
towards the
deliveries,
end.
8 runs.
He
Not
was
very.
under the pump early, wasn't he? First 5 overs for 51. It's un-Bumrah-like, but he's fought back strongly.
10 deliveries, 8 runs.
This is his real strength, and this is what India will feed off from Bumrah in the World Cup. His game awareness is so sharp with reading the intent of the batter. This ball is wide. It's a slow ball. You can see the batter struggling to get in and power at all. So every ball.
Why is Rohit
for the
Sharma in the
batter is a
middle?
bit of a mystery.
Jadeja should be here.
That Yorker was a real surprise in that over. It was going at 130. There was one ball at 124, and then that follow-up Yorker at 142.
Do you think it is going to be a very fast delivery? Because 4 balls he has bowled really slow. 123, 24,
Just
24.
having a chat with Rohit
I
Sharma
think this
now.
is going to be
wanting a
143,
change in the field,
145.
so looks as if square leg is going to come up.
I think it is
Fine
going to
legs,
be a leg
gonna
stump
drop
Yorker.
back.
This is going to be a leg stump Yorker. Okay, off stump. Okay.
Again, a very good delivery. He's just concentrated on bowling wide there.
Wide?
He's just
It was
kept
a
it out
wide
of the
Yorker,
batsman's
yeah.
hitting
Fine.
zone.
I thought you called it a
Wide
wide.
outside
It
off
wasn't
stump.
wide.
I think
Yeah. He's a very, very
batsman
clever
was
bowler.
expecting him just to mix
Bumrah
it
is
up a bit
very
more than what he's doing,
clever
but he's just
bowler.
firing outside that off stump wide.
Oh,
and
it
full.
was Nick.
Been a good over.
He
Just
nicked
a
the
3
ball.
off it at this stage of the game, second last over of the
Just
innings.
didn't reach the keeper. That's all.
It's not easy to pick that
Why
slower
didn't he
delivery
hint
from
him
Bumrah.
to come a few
With the
yards
ball
up?
with the same arms
I don't
speed.
understand. When the bowler plans to bowl slow, he should give some hint to the keeper. Out.
Then sliced away on the offside. They'll get 2 this time.
Yeah, the slow ball that he bowls generally is the off cutter, the off spinner, but there's no overspin at all. It's almost like it comes from the front of the hand, so there's no kind of loopy slow delivery for the batter to get under. And that's where you see Bumrah's greatness really. Death over the
His
49th
run-up is
over
so
set
short.
batter out there. He's conceded
5,
only
6
what
steps
5
only.
runs
Take
so
a look.
far.
He doesn't run at all.
Batter's
Take a look.
struggling
Just 5, 6 steps.
to
1,
get a big
2,
one, a
3.
boundary.
He will start.
Bowling a
1,
few
2,
dot
3,
balls,
4,
couple of
5,
them this
6,
over.
7, 8.
Oh, that's up in the air and
Out.
taken comfortably. So 2 catches for Shreyas Iyer today, and the 3rd wicket for Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah, smart bowling and Labuschagne hitting that into the breeze. It's the second catch we've seen hit down that area of the ground. You've really got to nail it to get over the rope.
No
Off pace again.
at all.
Might have been better off going over cover, but Labuschagne had decided to go over mid-on. Shreyas Iyer takes a comfortable catch.
They also realized that tiring Labuschagne didn't give him any pace at all, so he had to derive strength. Labuschagne to get that ball over. The whole over was in the 120s from Bumrah. Another good innings, another reminder to the selectors that he's around. 345 to 7.
I think his strike rate was around 126. That's it. Yes.
अच्छा लग रहा है बट मजा नहीं आया.
मजा तो तब आएगा जब लाइटिंग अच्छी होगी, यानी स्टरलाइट. वाह! घर सजाए स्टरलाइट विद CRI Plus Tech के बेटर क्वालिटी लाइट से. स्टरलाइट, fall in love with your home.
Batsman saw Smith and Mitchell Marsh both get severely affected by the heat in the first half of the innings. Australia, if they can get another
Krishna.
10 or so off this over, I think they'll be more than happy with 355.
Who will bowl?
So here's Siraj, final over. Just a single. Stark on strike now.
He is also very clever.
Yes, he went for 51 in his first 5, Bumrah.
No, fast bowlers need to be clever. Umesh Yadav has that problem.
Has finished
He's a
with
very good bowler, but he's not very clever. He doesn't.
From his 10, so
No,
his
he's got
last
everything,
5
but
overs, he's
this-
conceded just 30.
Bowlers lay a trap there.
Not often you'll see him go for that
and
many.
they get the batsman in the trap. Two balls,
good
3 balls
comeback.
on the, going out and then 1 in, that kind of thing.
Last 5 overs, just 30 runs and 3 wickets.
And again,
Control.
a lot of smartness.
You're
in the
right
way he
in a way.
bowled. Realized that the pitch was slower, the ball softer, batters tiring. It was just slow balls,
Can
one
they
after
manage
the
to
other.
keep them under 350?
Those batters eventually
This
getting the
will be
wicket. Labuschagne.
amazing.
You can see the batter striving for power there. Gave him nothing.
We moved across to the offside because Bumrah was basically concentrating on that line. Just couldn't quite get the power. There's the speed variations, the blue and the white balls. So lots of mixing
it's
up.
a little behind.
And
Right.
also the lengths as well.
All those balls that you saw in the slot area would be the slow balls. Siraj has trusted his pace. Still in the high 130s, couple of balls in the 130s.
So 50 overs have been bowled and Australia finish on
They managed to catch
352 for 7. It's the highest total on this ground. And that's after
Last
they
30
won the
was
toss
35 runs.
and decided to bat first.
That's
Mitch
cool.
Marsh, the top scorer, making 96.
Now, so one use of the present perfect clear with us. Now we are going to learn the second use today. Maybe some practice first and then the second. Open your main book, everyone. Take a look at this grammar spot box, blue box. The present perfect can express experiences. I've been to Paris. Have you ever been to Paris? I've never been to Paris. The present perfect. Have you ever been to Paris? Ever means at any time in your life. Ever means at any time in your life. Number 2, the past simple expresses exactly when something happened. The past simple does not talk about the experience. It talks about when the experience happened. It talks about the details of the experience. I went to Paris last year. I went to Paris a year ago. So the difference between these two, the present perfect talks about the experience. Yes, no. And past simple talks about the time of the experience, exactly when the experience happened. And other details as well. When did you go to Madrid? In 2016. Okay. So there was this question in class 8 or 9th, maybe, in my book. When was Gandhiji born? And when did Gandhiji die? Okay. And I asked my brother, I remember this. Bhaiya, why not present perfect? Why not when has Gandhiji born? मतलब when has Gandhiji died? Because उस समय हम लोग कोई इंग्लिश में एक्सप्लेन नहीं करता था, सिर्फ हिंदी से, ठीक है, कि हिंदी में ता है ती है तो प्रेजेंट सिंपल हिंदी में रहा है, तो रीजन नहीं समझ में आता था बहुत सी चीजों का। जिसका दिमाग चलता है ना, वो आदमी ज्यादा परेशान रहता है। जिसका दिमाग नहीं चलता उसको जो बोल दो चुपचाप सुन लेगा, बात खत्म हो गई। तो आई वॉज ऑलवेज वेरी परेशान इन इंग्लिश बिकॉज आई हैड लॉट्स ऑफ क्वेश्चंस इन माय माइंड एंड नो आंसर्स टू देम, because back then we didn't have Google, nothing, we didn't have good teachers. So the present perfect talks about experiences. Yes, हाँ है experience, नहीं नहीं है experience, बस इतना ही। हाँ है experience, नहीं है experience, तुम्हारे पास है experience, बस इतना ही काम है present perfect का। वो experience कब हुआ, किसके साथ हुआ, कहाँ हुआ, कुछ सारे descriptions, details past simple में। I have seen a lion experience. I saw it when I was in Patna in the zoo. अब जितनी बातें मैं बोलूंगा ना इसमें details, I was with my family there. It looked really huge. The lion looked really huge. I couldn't believe my eyes. The size was so big. I didn't know that lions were so big. Tigers were even bigger. On TV, when you see them now, they look small, but when you see them in real, 8 feet, 9 feet, 6 feet tall man is very tall man, right? And you would have tigers which are 8 feet long like this and height 5 feet. 5 feet. You would not have any chance. जब आप देखते हो ना, when you watch them, tigers and lions on Discovery Channel and National Geographic Channel and all that, you don't get to understand exactly how big they appear in real. They're really big. Okay, I have seen lions, I have seen tigers. यही है मेरा present perfect. उसके बाद details. Present perfect is formed with has or have plus the past participle, which is called the V3 form. ये सब बातें समझ में आ चुकी हैं हमें? Can you complete the table? Positive and negative table. I, you, we, they separate. He, she, it separate. So what will you write in the positive? I, you, we, they have been to Paris. He, she, it has been to Paris. Negative. I, you, we, they haven't been to Paris. He, she, it hasn't been to Paris. Now, ever and never. Number one, has he ever been to London? Anytime in your life. And last, he's never been to Paris. Never. No time in your life. बस इतने पर अभी रुकते हैं, ग्रामर स्पॉट पे भी नहीं, ग्रामर रेफरेंस पे नहीं जाते. Okay, look at this. You know that in present perfect we need the past participle forms. So past participle forms are written here. Can you write the infinitive? Can you write the infinitive form? The infinitive form, please. Been is the infinitive. What is the infinitive of been? Be. Be is written. Now, failed. What is the infinitive of failed? Fail, right? Do it, please.
Done.
Good. Yes. Over. You need more water. Okay. Failed. Given. Won.
Win.
Lived.
Live.
Seen. Made.
Make.
Swum. Slept.
Sleep.
Sleep. Sleep no. Sleep. हम बोलेंगे slept, लेकिन आपको बोलना है sleep. Okay.
Sleep.
Had.
Have.
Met. Run. Run.
Run.
The same. Okay. Taken.
Take.
Take. Eaten. Eat. Bought. Buy.
Buy.
Done.
Do.
Past simple is also easy, right? Okay, give me the past simple form. First, been, past simple. Was, were. Failed, past simple. Failed. Given, past simple. Come on, come on. अब क्या हुआ? अटक गया सुई इसका.
Give.
Past simple दो. अभी तुमने यहाँ पर देखा है past participle, infinitive लिखा है. अब past simple दो, V2 दो मुझे. V2 क्या होगा given में? Give से gave बनता है ना बेटा, तभी तो gave has V2, right? One.
Gone.
Okay. Lived.
Lived.
Saw. Made. Swum.
Made. So.
Swam. आप स्वयं जाइए. Okay. Slept. Had. No changes. Met. Run. The V2 is ran. Yeah. सारंगा तेरी याद में दिन कटते नहीं ran. Ran. Okay. Taken. Took. Eaten. Ate. Bought. Done. Did. Okay. We exercise 4. Have you ever, क्या तुमने कभी प्यार किया है? Have you ever fallen in love? तो ये था मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन. Have you ever fallen in love?
Yes.
Athar says yes. Yes खाली नहीं बोलना है. आगे क्या बोलना? 2 words. Yes, I did बोलता है बच्चा. Did past simple है, present perfect है. हाँ देखो रुकैया भी बोलती है yes I have. बहुत अच्छे रुकैया. Well done. Hey, तुमने भी कहा yes I have. तुमने भी कहा ना, सबने सुना ना? She said yes I have. Come on. Okay. Athar has, Rukaiya has fallen in love. Okay. Other people tell me, have you ever fallen in love? Zafri, have you ever fallen in love? Yes, sir, I have. Very good. You know what it feels like to be in love. Piyush, have you ever fallen in love? पता नहीं आज तक कैसा होता है प्यार में होना? Oh, poor boy. Oh, sad. Sakshi, have you ever fallen in love? Till date, you have never fallen in love, huh? With a girl. I mean, you can fall in love with a tree, with a mango, with a bakri, with a goat. I don't care. With a building, with a tanki, anything. I don't care. It depend करता है तुम पे. I don't know. With a girl. No. With a, let's say, कोई doggy. क्या बोलूं यार, मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा है. क्या चाह रहे हो यार? ये क्लास एडल्ट लोगों का नहीं, बच्चे भी हैं. देखो बच्चे बैठे हैं. नंदनी इज अ किड ना, बच्ची है ना अभी. बच्ची हो ना तुम, छोटी सी बच्ची हो, राइट? नंदनी, हैव यू एवर फॉलन इन लव? Not yet. Poor girl. Koi baat nahi. Best wishes. Okay. Other people tell me, have you ever fallen in love? Jishan.
No, sir, I haven't.
Ah, poor boy. देखना और कितना लंबा होएगा. You see, he is already 5 feet 8, 9 inches tall and he has never fallen in love. तो क्या 7 feet के होगे तब? Then he will fall in love, Jishan. I mean, what are you waiting for, Jishan? Padma, have you ever fallen in love, Padma? Padma is not answering. अरे बोल दो yes. I hope you are in love with the guy you are going to get married to. She's engaged. Sana, have you fallen in love? Not yet. No answer. ये लोग कहेंगे सर एकदम गलत बात करते हैं, एकदम गलत बात करते हैं. Shadab, have you ever fallen in love?
Oh, yes, I have.
You have. Musharraf, have you ever fallen in love?
Yes.
ये देखो, ये मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि लड़के कहते हैं यस आई हैव, तो वो किससे उनको प्यार हुआ? क्योंकि लड़कियां तो सारी कह रहे हैं नो आई हैवंट. उनको कभी अगर प्यार होगा तो किससे हुआ होगा? कोई बिल्डिंग से हुआ था क्या यार? Mr. Khan, I think I know. I don't need to ask Mr. Khan. Mr. Khan has fallen in love very badly. बहुत जबरदस्त प्यार हुआ था इनको. हुआ था. Okay. He was in love. Okay. मैरिड लोगों से पूछूं? है ही नहीं यहाँ पे. एक ही है सिर्फ, सबा जी. वो भी पता नहीं कहाँ चली गई सुन के कि ये सब मेरे से ही पूछने वाले से, भागो क्लास छोड़ो. नहीं है, बची हैं सबा जी. Okay, see why I asked this question, because I truly believe that the feeling of love inside your heart is a very good and something that makes you human. Yes, you guys will feel embarrassed because that is your culture, upbringing, you know. You will feel like, oh my God, how can I say yes? But I'm very glad that some of my boy students felt confident and said, yes, I have. They did not feel embarrassed, because falling in love is not something that you need to feel embarrassed about. You know, when you do not respect that feeling and you do something stupid, something that you can feel embarrassed about, that's another thing. But that feeling is a very, very good feeling. And that is what makes us humans. The feeling of love. If you have never experienced this, Sakshi, how old are you, Sakshi? 24, 23, 23. तुम 23 साल की हो गई और तुमने कभी महसूस नहीं किया. You have never fallen in love. You are very unlucky. Seriously, तुम्हें कभी प्यार नहीं हुआ? कभी नहीं. कभी. Okay, छोड़ दो, जाने दो. हाँ, क्या बोल रहे हैं? मजाक होता है. Okay, khair. So it's okay, but really it's impossible. Human beings have that tendency to fall in love with people who make them feel good or they feel attracted to. It doesn't mean that love will culminate into something like a relationship or a marriage or something. It is not necessary. That the feeling is natural. I think I felt that feeling very strongly on many occasions. When I was very young as well, I felt that strong feeling. And then later as well, I felt that strong feeling. And I don't believe in this idea of ये love नहीं है, lust है, ये सब मुझे समझ नहीं आता. वो सब कैसे कोई decide करता है? होता है ना कि देखो ये नकली नाइकी का शूज है, ये ओरिजिनल नाइकी है, वो पता चल सकता है. बट कैसे डिसाइड करते हैं प्यार के बारे में कि प्यार नहीं है, लस्ट है, ये वो? मुझे नहीं पता. बिकॉज व्हेन यू आर यंग, जब आप यंग होते हैं तो आपके सारे प्यार ना सच्चे प्यार होते हैं. बिकॉज इन दैट मोमेंट यू डोंट रियली हैव एनी अदर थॉट्स. बिकॉज व्हेन आई वाज इन क्लास 5th, आई हैड अ वेरी स्ट्रांग फीलिंग फॉर अ गर्ल. वेरी स्ट्रांग फील. हाँ. अरे तुमको सभी याद रहता है. So no, she was not my classmate. There was another girl in my class. Her name was Soumya, and she came in class 6th, I think. And before that, there was a girl called Sarita. अब ये अलग बात है कि मैं class 5th में I was in love with Sarita, and in class 6th I was in love with Soumya. ये अलग बात है कि तुम हंस सकते हो इस बात में कि एक साल में आपका प्यार बदल गया. हाँ, तो ऐसे ही होता है. बच्चे बचपन में ऐसे ही होता है. I had a very strong feeling for that girl Soumya. First Sarita and then Soumya. Strong feeling, like, I wanted those girls to say something nice about me. I wanted them to respect me. I wanted them to be my friends. Okay. अब 5वीं 6ठी क्लास में दिमाग में और कोई को ख्याल नहीं आता था. Okay, कुछ भी नहीं. तो मुझे कोई embarrassment नहीं बोलने में. I had that strong feeling for them. I really like looking at them. मुझे उनको देखना अच्छा लगता था. Whenever I saw them, I felt like, नहीं. I was a good student. No, you can't make such jokes. No, I was a good student. I'm just telling you the feeling that you feel inside. आप लोग बहुत सी चीजें अंदर में फील करते, बोलते कभी नहीं. आप में गट्स नहीं है बोलने का. ठीक है, आपके अंदर वो होती है ये चीजें, लेकिन आप एम्बैरेस तो नहीं बोल सकते. मैंने बोल दिया, बस इतनी सी बात है. ऐसा नहीं कि मैं देख रहा हूं तो देखता रह गया, नहीं. बट आपको देखता हूं, लोगों को देखता हूं, तो हर किसी को देखने पर अलग अलग खुशी का एहसास होता है ना. तो आई फेल्ट happier when I looked at her. That's what I'm talking about. And there is nothing wrong about it. So yeah, that's why I asked you this question, because I didn't think I asked you anything inappropriate. मैंने आपसे कुछ गलत नहीं पूछा. जब आपसे पूछा have you ever fallen in love, और इसको ऐसे भी पूछ सकता था have you ever been in love, have you ever. दोनों में फर्क ऐसे बोल सकते हैं, क्या आपको कभी प्यार हुआ है, have you ever fallen in love, have you ever been in love, क्या आपको कभी, वही एक ही चीज है, एक ही चीज है. हिंदी में क्या फर्क करूं. तो be in love, I am in love, सुना है गाना I am in love, alright. तो have you ever been in love and fallen in love, so उससे क्या बनाएंगे, have you ever fallen in love. दोनों सेंटेंस का मीनिंग लगभग एक ही है. have you ever been in love, have you ever fallen in love. चलिए अब थोड़ा गुस्से की तरफ बात करते हैं. have you ever fought a street fight, have you ever been involved in a street fight. Street fight, in the street you're punching somebody, that person is punching you. Have you ever been involved in a street fight?
I did, sir.
Of course, ये होता ही है लाइफ में,
Yes,
होना
I
ही.
have.
It's very common. लड़कियां आप नहीं जानती इसका
Yes, sir.
मजा, okay? Because you guys were never so I don't know. Nowadays girls also get involved in street fights. Okay. तो यहाँ कुछ questions है. Have you ever? पूछ लो, मेरे से पूछो. One नहीं है, one है. Have you ever won a competition? Yeah, I have. Yes, I have. But not anything big, not any big competition. तो अब आपके जब मैंने जवाब दिया yes, तो आपके पास और क्वेश्चन होंगे. कौन सा कंपटीशन था, क्या जीते थे, किस बारे में था कंपटीशन, किस चीज का कंपटीशन था, सवाल आएंगे ना मन में. तो जैसे ही यस मेरा जवाब निकला, यू शुड बी रेडी विद योर फॉलो अप क्वेश्चन. तो माय आंसर इज यस, आई हैव. आप पूछो. व्हाट काइंड ऑफ कंपटीशन वाज इट, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ कंपटीशन वाज इट. Oh, I won. It was a speech competition. You had to speak, extempore on a topic in English. You didn't know the topic. They would give you the topic when you went onto the stage, and you had to pick the sheet and speak on that topic in English.
When did you win the competition?
When did you do this? When did you win this competition? I think it was in 2002 or 3. 2002 or 3, I think, yeah. Or maybe 1, I don't remember very well. More. Done? Let's move on to the next question. What did you get? अभी ये भी पूछ सकते हैं, क्या मिला आपको, right?
What did you get?
Get money? Did you get a trophy? ये सवाल भी आ सकते थे ना. Did you get a trophy? Did you get some money? Yeah, I got a trophy. It was inside an institute. Okay. Next. Have you ever
lived in a
country? No, not yet.
Not yet.
मतलब मैंने नॉट येट बोल के क्या बताया कि हो सकता है मैं कभी करूं ये चीज.
Yes.
रूल आउट नहीं किया
Do you want to go foreign?
Come again, Shadab.
Do you want to go?
I mean, who doesn't want to travel, right? If my daughter does something big in life,
To live there.
Not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. Depends. If suppose India becomes Pakistan in 20 to 30 years, then I would like to leave this country. I would not like to stay here. But if India remains India, then lovely. Why not? Anything is possible, right? India can become America. India can become a very, very advanced country in the future. And I would love to be here in India. But if India becomes a country like Pakistan, then of course I would like to leave this place and live somewhere else. Next. Go ahead. Have you ever swum underwater? पानी के अंदर तैरे हैं? पानी के अंदर, पानी के ऊपर. I have never swum at all. Okay, I have never swum. I can't swim. Okay, I have been into the swimming pool, into the river. I have been inside in the at sea as well. I should not say inside the sea. I have been at sea as well, but I can't swim. I have never swum. Yes, I think I have. Anand sir is a famous person, isn't he? When did I meet him? Maybe 7-8 years ago. He was in Bihar Sharif.
How was your feeling?
I'm not somebody who gets overexcited meeting these people. I was fine. I was cool. But if I get to meet some of my favorite film stars, I might get a little excited. He was a famous person, but he was never my, like favorite or anything, because he was in Bihar Sharif and it was, I was invited as well. So I got a chance to meet him, but I wasn't very excited about it.
Who is your favorite film star?
Who's my favorite?
Film star.
Well, yes, I like Shah Rukh Khan a lot, but I also like some other people. Like I like Hrithik Roshan very much as well. And nowadays, I'm a big fan of Ranveer Singh. Huh?
Where did you meet to Anand?
Sunny Deol, yeah, I just saw Sunny Deol on what is the name of that show? Aapki Adalat. Oh my God, he appeared such a cute man. I had never liked him so much. I saw him on that show, Aapki Adalat, and he was so emotional because people liked his film Gadar 2 so much. He started crying, saying that, I never knew that people would like the film this much. And he said that when he was at school, he wasn't a very good student, he was not very clever, and he didn't know what was going to happen. And then he did the movie, what was his first movie with Amrita Singh? Ghayal? No, there was another. And, it is true that Sunny Deol has his own, fan following. And most of his films, like talk about Ziddi, talk about Ghatak, talk about Damini, talk about Ghayal, all the characters he played and the dialogues he delivered, if those films are remade today, then a lot of people will go and give the same love to those films as they gave to Gadar 2, because some people really liked him. He was a very good actor, and he is now very old. And he appeared such a gentleman, so humble, no arrogance of being a star. He cried all the time. Means he started crying in the very beginning. His eyes became totally, teary, and he could not, recover from that. His eyes were teary, and he kept, doing this all the time, throughout the interview. It was very nice. Yes, he's one of my favorite now because of his interview. I have liked his characters, Damini and all those films, Ghayal and Ghatak and all. But after that interview, I really liked him. Next. Next. I have appeared on YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel, of course. I have many, obviously. Okay. Next.
Have you ever stayed up all night?
Have I ever stayed up all night? Have I ever stayed up all night? Many times. I have many times. You know, when I was in Nevada for my wife's exam, um, I decided to kill time and go to the cinema. Okay. Um, there were there was this two films they were showing in one cinema hall. There were two screens. One was showing this, what is the movie called? Gadar 2, and the other was showing, oh my God, 2. I knew the story of Gadar 2 very much. I remember when I was young and I saw Gadar in Vandana Cinema Hall. Oh my God, I was so excited. That was a lovely movie. The innocence of Amisha Patel in the character of Sakina and Amrish Puri, that character that he played, wow. I mean, unforgettable. But somehow, this is called change in your personality. I could not convince myself to go and watch Gadar 2. I went to see, oh my God, 2. All right. And I did not feel disappointed in a way because that guy, what is his name? Tripathi. The one who has played a very important role in this film, the father of the boy in Oh My God 2. I loved his character, you know, fantastic. However, again, I will say, when I watch these films, when I watch these films, I have my own, you know, I don't write my, what do you call it, reviews, because my reviews will not be liked by many people, but there will be some people who will. Pankaj Tripathi, yeah, very good actor. I love his acting, you know. Yes, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I love Gadar and I like, you know, Sunny Deol for his interview, but I could not watch the movie. Why? Because I knew the story and that was not going to make me excited. उस फिल्म में मुझे कुछ excited नहीं लगने वाला था, मुझे पहले से पता था. I knew the story that, you know, this time what happens, his son falls in love perhaps, and then he goes to Pakistan, and then Tara Singh goes to Pakistan to bring his family back and everything. So there was nothing new to me for me there, you know. That's why I didn't get excited. That's the difference between Vinay today and Vinay back then, 24 years ago, 20 years ago, you know. So I think people go through this change. When they're young, they like typical things, and then they grow old and they change a little bit. Everybody does, I think. Most people do. Okay. Have I stayed up all night? Yes, many times. Do you have follow-up questions?
Have you ever seen an eclipse?
अरे उसमें follow-up question नहीं है. If I say I have stayed up all night many times. अच्छा, एक question हो गया. When did you last stay up? Okay, all night, right? So that was last time I did it was maybe a couple of weeks ago, maybe, or a month ago, maybe, because I remember not going to bed whole night. We had some holidays, 2-3 days holidays, and one night I didn't go to bed at all. I just kept playing games, you know, and I felt very angry with myself because next day was horrible. For me, it's very important to sleep. And another follow-up question, what did you do? Why did you stay up? A question ye bhi to sakta hai. Why did you stay up? In the past, I stayed up to talk to people. I stayed up and talked to people. I spent my whole night talking to people. And now I just do it mainly. Sometimes even these days, I stay up late night talking, you know, having discussions. And sometimes I just spend my time playing games. These are the two reasons why I stay up, mainly to talk to people and to, you know, play games. Have I ever seen an eclipse? Oh, the lunar eclipse, of course, many times. The solar eclipse cannot be seen with your naked eyes. You need to have some certain things, perhaps. So, yeah. But I've seen eclipses, yeah.
When did you see last time?
I can't remember that. One thing I remember about eclipses is my, you know, confusion about when I was young. My mother told me stories. Hello, Zafri, control yaar. Otherwise, share with me. I feel jealous now. जब आप लोग आपस में बात करते हो तो मुझे लगता है मेरे को क्यों छोड़ रहे हो बाहर? मेरे को ही बोलो. So I might have told you this, that when I was a young boy, eclipses were very common. Every year there are some eclipses, right? Partial eclipses, not full eclipses. So, you know, in my family, they used to do that chawal thing, touch the chawal and have a bath and stuff like this, you know, certain superstitions we followed. And
स्पीकर जो रहता है ना, जो आप इंग्लैंड वाला, उसको ना ग्रामर पे क्वेश्चन की
Umar, you were not talking to me, I think, so I muted you. You were talking to some other people around you. If you are talking to me, unmute yourself and say what you were saying. But I realized that you were not talking to me. Okay, so like I said about eclipses, that first, my first knowledge about eclipses came from my mother and my family, what eclipses were. I didn't understand. I used to ask her, why? Why do we have to do this? Then she told me what she knew, okay? And then I went to school, of course, and I learned another explanation for eclipses. I was standing at a crossroads where I had to decide whether my mom's story is right or my teacher's story is right. I decided my teacher's story was right, and I never accepted my mom's story as a reality. I always called it just a story. And I think a lot of us find ourselves in those crossroads in life when we have to choose something that is a fact which can be verified and something that is not a fact, cannot be verified. But a lot of us do not have the courage to choose the fact which can be verified. We want to stay with both. And that's the silliest thing to do. Some people are very crazy. They'll say, no, I will stay with my this, which cannot be verified, but I want to stay with this. And then there is something that can be verified. Some people will say, I believe in this and that both. How can you believe in your mother's story and the teacher's story both? Your teacher tells you about eclipses, the positioning of the earth, the sun and the moon. And a mother tells you the story of Chandrama, Rahu, Ketu and Chandrama and Mohini, Avatar and all that, right? So one has to be true. So I clearly chose my teacher's story, and that's why you see me the way I am. If I had accepted my mother's story, you and I would have been on the same page. But it was not possible for me to choose my mother's story because it was not possible to verify it. But you guys can choose something that you can't verify. Be my guest. Okay, next. Next, slept in a tent. Have you ever slept in a tent? Tent that you put, now, not that, but I have slept in a pandal, but not in a tent. Tent, you know, when people go camping, they put the tent and they cook something inside or outside and sleep there. It's an exciting way to have a holiday.
Did you have a spend good time?
I've never done that. I've never done that. I've never slept in a tent. Sabaji, I've never slept in a tent. I've never been on a, what do you call it? Camping holiday. I've never been on camping. Okay, next.
Have you ever run a marathon?
Have I ever run a marathon? I was never fit enough. I have never done that. Failed an exam. My academic exam, first exam I failed. The first exam that I took, I failed. But after that, I never failed an exam, academic exam. Yeah, competition I could not clear. That's another thing. I did my, you know, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, you know, entrance exam. I could not clear that. I could not pass that. So I failed some exams, but not my academic exams, not my school exams, college exams, never. Okay, so that is all. इससे पता चला कि आप एक्सपीरियंस को थोड़ी प्रैक्टिस भी मिल गई. आप थोड़ा और चाहे तो कर सकते हैं. About yourself, you can write a few things. We can carry on. And tomorrow we will learn the second use of the present perfect, which is with yet, already and just. अभी तक दो वर्ड सीखे थे, ever और never को यूज करना. अब present perfect में यूज करेंगे yet, already और just, और ये experiences के बारे में नहीं होंगे. So for that, let's wait until tomorrow. Okay, let's meet tomorrow, guys. We will carry on. So do you know?
Bye, sir.
He's an English teacher. Anitu, what's your opinion? I don't know, Jadip sir. I don't know. I don't know, Jadip sir. I don't care about and many of the teachers. I do not know about them. If you have any video, you can send me. Bye-bye.